Hello, welcome to another great episode of the Paul Theory Show. How you doing today? I'm good. I hope you're doing well. So today, let's go back. For the show, I was hoping to come up with different theories that I had. Because I always had different theories. But sometimes a thought gets stuck in my head, and I can't get around that thought, or that idea, or something that's just kind of runs in my head. As much as I like to think of new stuff, it's like Bogart's in there, and it's locked in here, and I can't get it out. And then all I think about is that one particular thing. So what's been stuck in my head? Well, the last couple episodes, first ones, or anyways, I was talking about religion and how I started my own religion and stuff like that. So I was putting that idea of my religion just popped in my head, and of course it was very vague idea with no real not too much depth into it. But then I started thinking about religion and all the things that it deals with, and one of them is the whole idea of this is for Christianity. To be honest with you, I'm not a religion expert. I was born Catholic. But my mom was Catholic. I was raised Catholic. My dad actually was Baptist. But my mom pretty much raised me, or took me to the church. So I was pretty much raised as a Catholic. So that's my expertise, which is because I was raised in it, went all the way through it. But anyways, Christianity is all pretty much the same, where there's one particular part it's about that always never really sat well with me. And by all means, I don't know if any of this is true. This is just a theory. This is my own thoughts. These are things that didn't sit well with me. So I figured maybe if it doesn't sit well with me, and maybe it doesn't sit well with other people as well, so that's why we're talking about it now. So the one of the issues that didn't sit well with me, and this pretty much takes me right out of the Christianity religion, because I basically don't qualify, because it's the part where Jesus dies on a cross to forgive your sins. So that part never really, I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. It never did. How one person could be basically sacrificed or whatever, so that way we all are basically free of sin. And it kind of reminds me back of it seems the same as kind of it seems like a superstition to me, to be honest with you. Back in the stories, back when they had the Mayan people, I guess, they had their own Mayan religion, whatever it was, but they would sacrifice goats and virgins to the gods, because they believed that by doing so, the gods will show them some kind of favor. So that to me is almost in line with that. So it didn't seem logical, It almost seemed like it was just a way to basically free yourself of your sins. So at least you believe that anyways. And I think I understand why it's in there. Now, of course, I'm using the logic that it was basically a man-made part of the Bible that was added in. And it was a really smart person. It wasn't like these guys are chumps. There's a reason for these things, I think. It's my opinion, it's my theory. That whoever put that part in the Bible did it for a reason. And it was a good reason. It was a positive reason. But as our logic changes, we're not really believing in fantasy anymore, so maybe we have to upgrade that part of it. But the reasoning I believe that it was put in there was because I believe that when you die, you don't want to carry with you the guilt of these sins, because that will kind of basically lower your vibration. It'll bum you out. So I think when you die, you go to where you basically go to the same place where you are on Earth. So if you're living in guilt, sorrow, that's kind of where you're going to go afterwards. And you don't want to live that way anyways. So if that was a way for them to say, look, if you believe in Jesus and ask forgiveness, then your sins are removed and you can just live in peace. He's always, that's the whole big thing, live in peace. Peace be with you. And I think that was the point. They want you to be at peace. That way you can move on with your life, move on to the afterlife without that dread, the guilt. And that was, that's, you know, it's not a bad thing. But it was like a fairy tale, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But to me, it seemed that way. So, but my thing is this. Everything evolves, right? Religion evolves, people evolve, systems evolve. Like even like in the Old Testament, there's a lot of stories back there that we just ignore because it doesn't apply anymore. Just we understand it doesn't make any sense. Like you can't sell your daughters. You can't you talk about slavery and obeying your master. You know, we just get rid of that. We just ignore those parts because it doesn't apply. So I think religion should, if you're going to be religion-minded, you should evolve as well on that part because it doesn't make sense to when you're more modern thinking. Right? Okay, so what would I do? Or what would, if I would think that way, because, okay, I think it's for me that system doesn't work. Okay, the whole forgiveness part of it, going to, just go to confessional or just you pray and you ask forgiveness, it doesn't work. How do I know that? Because there's a bunch of Christians, now not all of them, and there's a lot of really good Christians, but a lot of, most, I'm gonna sorry to be honest with you, I'll be honest with you, you be honest with me. Most Christians, you wouldn't even know they're a Christian if they didn't tell you. Because they don't act in any way, shape, or form as if they were guided or enlightened or anything good or in them at all. You just wouldn't know it. They just seem like they're people being selfish and blah, 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 and jerks and all that stuff. And I think it's just too easy to say, well, I could be how I want, and then I have to ask for forgiveness, and I'm good to go. Hey, I don't think it was meant to be that way. So what is the new way, I think? I think forget the forgiveness. You don't get forgiven. How do you like them apples? You can't ask for forgiveness. Well, you can, but you can't ask God for forgiveness because this doesn't work. You need to, and I do believe in karma. So if you do something wrong, I think the universe, well, you know what? It's not even the universe that's getting you back. I believe, this is me, I can be completely honest with you. I think what it is if you do something wrong, if you wrong somebody, deep inside you, you know you wronged somebody, okay? So you're scarring yourself. You know you wronged somebody, even though you try to justify it. Oh, I only did it because of this and that, and I have all these reasons, all these excuses. But you know if you cut that person off, that was a jerk move. I mean, you know, it didn't cover driving ethics in the Bible because there's no cars, but if you do something rude and dangerous to somebody else, a complete stranger, just because you're in a hurry, you're justifying your actions. But you know, I just cut that person off. That could have been an old lady, that could have been an old man, that could have been somebody that was not feeling well. That person could have been this, that, and the other thing. You're being a bully behind the wheel, you know? So I always had this idea where, like, if I was God, and I really wanted to get a quick analysis of how good a person is, I just watch him drive. You watch him drive, and you will see how he treats his fellow man. You will see if he's pushy and arrogant and rude and aggressive. You know, that to me is a snapshot right there. If you're doing that because basically it's kind of like it's a car, you don't see the person inside, but you're doing that to a person. You're being rude, you're being dangerous, you're being an a-hole to another person. So that would be a quick snapshot. You don't even have to watch the whole life. You can just see the core. If you see a person that's patient, lets people go through, make sure they're fair and safe, cares about other people, that you can see it in their driving, you know. And a lot of people don't want to hear that because they're like, no, it's different, whatever. And they see it's a justification. They're trying to justify why they can be rude and mean and all this other stuff. Anyway, so my point is, I think internally, you know, on a subconscious level, or even conscious level, you know if you're a good person or not a good person. So the only way for you to cleanse that out of your system is I think you have to either, if you don't do it, well, sorry, the whole karma thing is, I think, is if you don't make amends to what you've done wrong, then subconsciously you will punish yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the world on the out reflects on the in. So if you got all this guilt and you know you've done wrong, I think subconsciously you deserve some punishment, and punishment is going to come to you, because that's what you, in the back of your subconscious, you know you did wrong and you kind of deserve to be punished, and then that's going to be punished. You're going to punish yourself subconsciously because the world's a projection of your inside. Okay, kind of deep, but anyways. So I think to beat karma, or to solve that problem yourself, what I think you need to do is you need to acknowledge what you've done. If you can apologize to the person, you apologize to that person. But then you still got to make amends. You got to go over and above to cleanse that. So that way, you know, because basically I think you need to understand what you've done and pay back. I say tenfold. Hey, tenfold. Why do I say tenfold? Because if you do something wrong, if you were a jerk, so you tenfold the return, you got to do good for 10 times. You're going to realize, if you help somebody, the more you help somebody out, the more you do well to others, you will realize the importance of it. And you will see the result of it. And that will change you as a person to make you a better person. And in the end, if you can grow from a bad experience, then that's in the end is a good thing. But if you don't, then you know you didn't pay your dues, and it's going to happen anyways. Okay, so that's how I see the world, and how I see that part of it, that part of the issue of confessing and all that stuff. So I know every Christians will go crazy. They say that, if you don't believe, what is that whole thing about? I mean, like I said, I don't know. It's just my thoughts. Just the fact that you need to believe something for it to be true, or you'll get something out of it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And all that it doesn't make sense because there are so many options of things that you could possibly believe. So, and I would think that God would be understanding. He would know. He put the doubt in you. So he did it for a reason. You were made for a reason. So you got to go with what your gut tells you. So if your gut says it doesn't add up, well, maybe the universe is telling you, hey, this is not really adding up because it's not really accurate. It might be partly accurate, but it might not be completely. And you got to use your gut feeling. You got to follow your heart. I think that's a natural indicator of what is real and what is not real. So if it didn't sit well with me, I had to keep on looking. I do believe, like I said, that you kind of create your own karma. That's just what I believe. How much time do I got? Okay, I got a minute and a half. Well, I think I'll wrap it up. But thanks for watching. And remember to like and subscribe. Apologize if I offended anybody, but it's just an opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. And hit like and subscribe if you do like the stuff. If you want to hear some more, I'm going to try to do a video every day. And I'm going to put a link to my book, which is completely unreligious. It's just a book I wrote about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's a action-packed, or action, thriller, romance, comedy, it's everything.